Right, boys, so we all want to build backlinks, and in 60 seconds, I'll show you my secret strategy to build links just like these ones, step by step. Okay, so here's what you have to do. There's a bunch of search prompts you can use on Google to find sites. Now, 99.9% of the sites that'll show up when you use these prompts are going to be trash. So 99.9 won't be sites you want to go for, okay? Because if you're watching this video, so are a bunch of other people. And if you all do the same thing and all of you guys use these search prompts, what's going to happen is that most of these sites will be trash. And so how can you follow this tutorial step by step and actually use what I'm about to teach you to find real great sites? Here's a step by step. So first things first is let's go over the first search prompt, right? If I just go on Google and type in, what's my niche? Let's say my niche is dogs, okay? I'll do dogs, right? And then I'll do location plus the word charity. So dogs, dog, let's do NYC, let's just do charity, okay? Now, a bunch of search results about charities in NYC will show up. I'll just open up all these right here. Now, what you'll notice about all these sites right here is that, again, these are all non-profit organizations. These are all charities, right? And most of these, if not all, will have a section where they have, there you go, partners. All of these, right? Let me just close out of this. Let's see where it's get involved, news. Let's see the footer right here. Do we have partners? Volunteers, resources, Control F partners. There's no partners anywhere. So forget this one. There you go, partners, right? So most of these in just this 30-second search, right? A lot of them will have a section called partners, okay? Let me just close out of these ones right here. This one has a section called partners. And of course, people or brands who donate get a special link right here on a certain page on their site back to their site. For example, these guys donated $2,000 and got a link directly from this domain, right? pauseny.org, so our domain, back to their site, okay? And if we just open this up right here in Ahrefs, we'll see that this has a DR of 46, okay? Now, sure, it doesn't have much traffic, but you're getting a hyper-relevant link because, again, if you, let's say you sell dog collars, okay? You're getting a link from a powerful domain, so DR46, okay, decent, ranks for a bunch of keywords. Again, these keywords, yeah, even though it's not much, and even though the traffic isn't much, right, all of these keywords are all most likely related with your niche. So we'll see that these are mostly like all, yeah, there you go, pause, NYC, let's see, pause, animal organizations, animal rescue, vet, so dog shelter. So all these are keywords that are in your niche, right, in your sphere of, let's say, again, you sell dog collars, ooh, right? Keywords that are relevant for this are, yeah, dog care, right? I don't know, dog volunteer, right? Animal rescue, what else? Animal shelter, dog toys, right? All these are keywords in the same relevancy sphere of whatever it is that you're selling, right? And so you want a link from a relevant domain, right? If you can go for, ideally, power and relevancy, you should go for both, right? In power, it's just basically metrics. So the DR, in this case, domain rating, again, you can measure the domain rating using Ahrefs. They use the DR. You can measure it using Moz. They use DA, okay? Or you can measure it using Majestic. There's a bunch of tools where you can measure it. I just use Ahrefs because it tends to be the most reliable. That being said, all of these metrics you see here can easily be manipulated, and it's something I'll talk about in a bit, right? Because all these, like, watch out for, like, most of these metrics, if not all, can easily be manipulated, and there's patterns you can look into to find and see if these were tampered with or not. These don't look to be tampered with, but I'll go over that in a bit. And then, yeah, sure, another metric is traffic, of course. The keywords they rank for, how relevant are the keywords in this case? I mean, all these ones are relevant, and the traffic mostly comes from the US, which tells me this is not like not bot traffic. And then relevancy, right? How relevant, is the domain you're getting a backlink from to you? Is it not related at all, or is it hyper relevant? In this case, it is hyper relevant. So again, ideally you'd get a domain that's both powerful and relevant linking to your site. In this case, it is. And again, I just did this in 30 seconds. And yeah, surely, yeah, you pay for these links, but on one hand, you're doing it for a good cause, right? You can donate. I'm not sure what's the minimum. Yeah, I'm not sure what the minimum is, but you can donate. Anything you can donate, firstly, goes to a good cause, right? And then you're getting a powerful link back to your site. So it's a win-win, right? And there's infinite things you can do, right? Again, you can just do, right, niche, location. So not only are you getting a niche-specific link, Location specific, right? Which again, you can take this away if you, for some reason you can't find any charities or any organizations you can donate to get a link from in your location. Well, just remove it. Just type in niche, then charity, okay, or non-profit, right? Again, there's multiple ways in which you can say the same thing, right? Don't just use this like as a don't have funnel vision right here. Again, you can just say, for example, dog. Let's just do non-profit NYC, right? Or let's just do LA, non-profit LA. Surely a bunch of these will show up right here. Animal services, whatever. Again, all these follow the same thing. You can help them out, and surely they have a page where they have their partners or the people who donated them. Surely are going to be around here. And if they're not, I mean, find someone who has. Find a brand who will actually list out their partners. Okay, it's that simple. That simple. Let me see if I can find one right here. A partner with us. Let me see here. Resources. About us. The cat. Okay, I don't think this one has it, but again, a lot of them will have it. Okay, a lot of them will have, like, for example, a partner section. If you click these ones, it's going to go to their site. Again, boom. And a lot of these are private brands, right? For example, these right here, PetSmart charities. PetSmart sells a bunch of stuff for dogs, like food and stuff, if I'm not mistaken. Again, you're doing it for a good cause, and at the same time, you're getting a valuable link. There you go. These guys sell cat food, right? And they have a great backlink from a .org domain, niche relevant, and maybe location relevant as well if these guys are based in NYC, which I think they are, right? Amazing. That easy. I could just finish the video off here. That being said, I want to make sure that you get, watch out for some of these stuff, which is how do you tell if a domain is actually great? Because, I mean, this could look great on the front end, but it could be like a spammer doing it, and it could be an awful domain to get a link from. So a couple of things to watch for is spikes in traffic, right? If the traffic graphic looks like this, boom, 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 most likely it's spam, because these guys just use bot traffic to pump up the numbers, take a screenshot of the dashboard, be it Google Analytics or even Ahrefs, and say, hey, listen, I have a link to sell you. This comes from a site with 1 billion in monthly search traffic. Hey, pay me $1,000. So check the link, check the traffic history beforehand, okay? Spikes usually mean bots. Then usually traffic from low GDP countries usually also means that's like a low quality site. It just is what it is, right? Usually having US, Canada, most countries from Europe, Australia, UK means that it is a high quality site, okay? That's just basically it. Now, am I saying that sites with traffic or high traffic from low GDP countries aren't valuable? Not at all. I'm just saying, hey, as a rule of thumb, tend to follow these guidelines. These aren't, again, don't just follow this blindly. There could even be a site where it has a bunch of spikes and it is actually valuable. For example, most news sites have spikes in traffic because when they produce a news piece of content, it gets a bunch of spikes because they put out the news content, it's hyper relevant, they get a bunch of traffic, and then the news content dies out. So that news piece that got a bunch of traffic goes to zero because the news becomes irrelevant. So again, it can happen where having this is a quality site, having this is a quality site, but in most cases, it is not. Then, third thing, check out waybackmachine.org. This is a site that allows you to check how the site was way back when. If I go to Wayback Machine or wayback.archive.org, I can see, okay, who or what did this site talk about way back when? For example, let's do 2020, right? Were they a site, maybe were they a casino and someone who just bought this domain and changed it from casino to like pet stuff? In this case, most likely not, right? Because it is an exact match domain. But again, it can happen, right? It can happen, and I've seen it happen a lot of times. So check, again, it's a simple check, takes 5 minutes. Check if the site has a good history. If it's constantly changing niche, it was gambling, then it was like CBD, then it was like an animal shelter, and then like a motorcycle site, and then like an eyewear brand. Most likely, it's multiple owners just buying the domain back and forth. And if they're doing this in plain sight, just imagine what they're doing in the back end with traffic, bots, and all the other weird stuff. So check this, easy. Just these three will give you like a lot of insights into if the domain is good or not, okay? Then keywords, right? Check the keywords the domain ranks for. If, again, you're getting a link from this site, which looks great, right? Has all these backlinks. Let's say it ranks for like 1,000 keywords. But if all the keywords it ranks for are super like irrelevant to each other, again, just a rule of thumb, because it could be like a news-based site where news-based sites, they rank for the most variety of keywords possible. But if it appears to be a niche site and it ranks for a bunch of irrelevant keywords, some niche relevant, some not, again, most likely there's going to be some manipulation. And most likely, if this happens, this happened as well. In other words, if they rank for a bunch of, they look niche specific and they rank for a bunch of irrelevant keywords, most likely you got to check Wayback Machine, because you'll see that they changed up the niche and old content from a different niche is still ranking. And that's super weird. Okay. Then low metrics. Again, I usually aim for DR 40 plus. Again, I just use Ahrefs right here. DR. Again, all these are vanity metrics. They can all be manipulated, but as a rule of thumb, I just go for DR 40 plus. Okay. But by the way, you can just go on fiverr.com and just buy this. Just type in increase DR, and people right here sell you this, like they can increase your domain's DR for $28. Okay, so it's or $5. So anyone can increase these metrics if they want to. So again, cautious. Okay. Now, by the way, as I told you, like spikes look weird, and there's a bunch of spikes right here. This look weird. Like how come this happened right there, right here? Again, spikes can look weird, but you gotta look into it. Go look at the top pages. Go see the date when this happened. Right, this was December last year. Go see the pages. Go see the keywords that they ranked for last year. Maybe they ranked for a bunch of keywords, but then they deleted the page, and now it doesn't rank for those keywords anymore. So, like, dive deep into the link you're getting, especially if you're paying a high price for it. But again, with what I just told you, you just remove this site from your list because it looked weird, because a bunch of spikes. But these spikes, yeah, they look weird right here. But if you dive deep into it, you'll see that it's not really that weird. The site actually looks good. And by the way, a good telltale sign is that if they have social media like properties, because usually like spammers or low quality sites don't put in the work to have like socials or active socials. These guys do have it. A lot of them have it right here, but if you click it, it just goes to that link. But these guys actually have it right here, and they look to be real. She's just going to IG right here. So again, 20K followers seems real. Okay, again, all this, take it with a grain of salt. Then, final step right here. Don't blindly rely on metrics again, because these can all be manipulated. Be it you trust these ones or any other ones, these can be manipulated. So look at multiple touch points. Don't just look at one. Don't just look at the spikes in traffic, right? Don't just look at the Wayback Machine. Look at a bunch of these right here. Now again, this is what to look for. This is all the prompts you can do. This is my favorite one. These usually are way more expensive than all these ones right here. And these right here, usually you can find higher quality sites than all these ones right here, because usually people who, let's just do this right here, in URL guest post, let's just do boom, just go on Google so you guys can see, boom, and let's just do, let's see, dog, right? So usually, let's see right here, right for us, pet care for life, right? These guys are a animal blog, as you see right here. Again, they only talk about animals, right? And they have a dedicated page called Right For Us. And the only way that I found it was because I typed in URL guest post dog. And so it finds sites that have the word dog and guest post in it, in the URL, right? Right For Us or guest post. And right here, you can basically pay them, if you send them an email, to have them write a blog post on this site for you. Now, is this just a site where they just write content for the sake of it and then charge people for links? Maybe. Let's just check Ahrefs real quick here to see if it is actually valuable. Pets Care for Life, and yeah, it's trash. Okay, so this is not a good link, not at all. But again, you gotta search a bit for it, right? You gotta search a bit for it. So use these prompts, okay? Use them. Be specific. You can even add location-based ones. You can play around with this. You can just basically just put this into GPT and ask it to give you some variations, right? And say, hey, listen, I tried this one, only crap sites showed up. What should I change in the prompt? But this should give you like a basis on where to start. And it is that easy. There's a lot of site owners out there who are willing for you to give them money, right, in exchange for a link. Okay, a lot of them out there. Okay, and by the way, this is not really a thing according to Google's terms of service. In theory, you should earn links. You should not pay for them. You should earn them, okay? But the thing is that if you're just starting out, earning links is very difficult. So you can just start paying for some. And again, if you're doing it for charity, who cares, okay? And also, this is a channel about SEO. SEO is the art of manipulating Google's algorithms and now LLM's algorithms into ranking first or being mentioned first. It's all SEO is. It's manipulation of the algorithm. Even though Google likes it or not, Doesn't matter. By the way, even the biggest brands, Forbes, all these big guys do the same thing. So don't just read the Google terms of service and think, man, they say not to do it. Maybe I shouldn't do it and say poor. No, go for what the big boys are doing. Build the links, create the content, and do all that stuff because you want to make money, you want to rank first, and that's it. Okay. Also, by the way, some of these sites that ask you to do guest posts on, don't just have them write the content for you. Make sure that you write the content because a lot of them won't put a lot of effort into writing the content. So make sure that you write the content. You can use Arvo for this. Again, it's my tool. I'm fully biased. If you buy it, I make money, but this is the best one. It just allows you to have content created that automatically has links to your site, images of your brand, videos, actually an actual really good piece of content that not only is great to get a link from, but actually gets indexed in Google because it's high quality, high value, right? So use Arrow for that. And yeah, that's basically it. If you want me to dive a bit more deeper into this stuff, let me know. But this is all you need to know about link building in a short video. If you want more in-depth stuff, just go watch this right here. Yeah, thank you so much for watching and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.